It's another beautiful day today again for us to, find out what the papers are saying. It's beautiful. It's a January 3rd day, Wednesday it is, and it's still, New Year. It's still a New Year because it's still this is the third day in the new year, 2024. Exactly. So in case you just we're just seeing for the first time, you know what I mean. Good morning and happy New Year. My name is Alex Omunaya. I'm not here alone. You already heard his voice, Comrade Ife Oldomo. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning. Like as we said, the new year continues and it's going to usher out a very beautiful period in our lives. May this year be better than the last year.
Yes, indeed. May this year be better than last year. Maybe individually, because if it's as a nation, we don't know yet. Let us still be positive, right?
If you cannot get out of your community, you participate in repairing the community.
Yes, indeed. Okay, 5 papers are up for review this morning, and the Guardian, Punch, Nation, Tribune, and Daily Trust. We're going to go straight into these papers and trust Comrade to do justice to the stories making the headlines. And we begin with the Guardian newspaper. 29 states fail to access 68 billion naira Universal Basic Education Fund. You want to know these states? Well, I'll ask you to go get yourself a copy of the Guardian newspaper. And still on the front page of the Guardian newspaper, this one, federal government sacks NSIP boss, suspends certificates from Benin, Togo, varsities. The full story can be found on page 3. NIDCAM warns MBAs, embassies of fake diaspora groups. That's on page 5. And confusion as telcos alert subscribers to NIN SIM link irregularities. You can read up that story on page 16. Divided house, discordant tunes over validity of minority decisions. That's on page 4. And end play 2 killings now, not central governors. Mark tells federal government. End play 2 killings now, not central governors. Mark tells federal government. And finally, from the front page of the Guardian newspaper, federal government directs MDAs to remit 100% of generated revenue. The full story is on page 2 of the Guardian newspaper. Okay, up next is the Punch newspaper. NNPCL marketers clash over subsidy. Operators peg petrol at 1,200 naira per litre. The full story can be found on page, what's it now? Okay, I think I have it here, page 21 of the Punch newspaper. 5 die in Japanese aircraft collision as earthquake kills 50. The full story is on page 8. Talks ongoing for Kano's release. That's according to Deputy Speaker. The full story can be found on page 8. Okay, that's a good one, depending on which side of the divide you belong to. Sanwo-Olu orders arrest of soldiers riding one way. That's also on page 5. Plateau killing similar to Rwandan genocide, not central governors. You can read up that story on page 9. Interesting. Plateau killing similar to Rwandan genocide in the 90s. Okay. Fake degrees. Federal government shuts 18 foreign varsity campuses here in Nigeria. And beneficiaries protest as banks begin COVID-19 loan recovery. Beneficiaries protest as banks begin COVID-19 loan recovery. Let's quickly take a look at the Nation newspaper. Okay, the Nation newspaper is up next. You get on your screen very shortly the lead story on the front page of the Nation newspaper. 17 billion naira cash. EFCC detains social investment scheme coordinator. Okay, and it has a rider. The rider in SIPA, that's NSIPA CEO, suspended over suspicious movement of cash. Ex-Humanitarian Affairs Minister for interrogation today. Stock market opens with 665 billion naira gain. Government withdraws recognition for Benin Republic, Togo varsities, and why lawmaker Ehie resigned by Fubara. It's my turn to be Edo's next governor, says Shuaibu. Okay, that reminds us of someone else saying it is done to occupy a political post. Governors lift Plateau killing Okay. Governors lift Plateau killings victims with 100 million naira. Okay, and Hajj registration gets January 31 deadline. 11 killed in Kwara multiple road crash. Oh yeah, that's a sad one. And above the masthead, okay, we've taken that above the masthead. Directly below the masthead, budgets of 63 government-owned enterprises made public. Civil society, citizens' rights advocates hail action. Okay, that's from The Nation. Let's go straight to the Tribune newspaper. Plateau killings, North Central Governors Plan Security Corporation. NBA wants Tinubu to invest in security. Federal government suspends accreditation of degree certificates from Benin and Togo. Nigeria may lose more than 50% skilled healthcare workforce by 2025. And Adebanjo leads FM&TV leaders on condolence visits to Akeredolu's widow. Says Nigeria has lost a progressive star. Okay, that's that for that. Before we turn to the next paper, federal government extends 2024 Hajj registration till January 31st and passport application automation to commence January 8th. This is according to the federal government. And finally, the Daily Trust newspaper. Identify root cause of Plateau killings for lasting peace. That's according to North Central governors, talking to the federal government. And federal government suspends accreditation of degree certificates from Benin, Togo. Protest rocks Lokoja over epileptic power supply, over billing. Okay. 37 billion naira fraud. Ex-Minister Sadia faces EFCC today. National Assembly's budget of 344.4 billion naira, higher than 15 federal universities. Kano governor denies exchanging blows, sacking SSG. And Tudunburi, 1 month after residents await compensation, outcome of committee report. Okay. And there's so many stories begging for attention, but we'll just leave it at that and trust that you will get yourself a copy of any of these papers to read up as many stories that you can find or that catches your attention. Okay, let's come to you now, Comrade Odama.
Yeah,
in fact, basically all the papers have the story on the Plateau killings, and from what we're hearing, it's like there's a breakthrough. For some suspects have been arrested, but is it about talking? I think Nigerians are good at talking. Condemnation. What really should be done? Before you comment, the North Central governor said what happened in Plateau State reminds them of the Rwandan genocide.
Yes, definitely. They are very, very correct, 100% correct. You see, when we were thinking that it was because the Fulani man was at the helm of affairs in the last 8 years, and that is why they are having upper hand, that is the terrorists. But now we have a man from a different section of the country entirely, and still this thing is even getting worse. So this should not be linked to the issue of the leadership alone. There must be something wrong in the system that we've not been able to identify. Why is it so difficult for these people to be apprehended? With all the military intelligence, everything Nigeria has it, and still we cannot do anything with it. Now, in the time of Jonathan, I could remember that he even employed the services of mercenaries to help fight the insecurity. That is the build-up towards the 2015 elections that he eventually lost. But when the next administration came in, they wiped off that idea. Now we have a similar situation. Look, there is no saying this thing. If you know you cannot combat this insecurity, then ask for international help. Because these people you are wiping out, they are human beings. They have parents, they have children, and you just wake up and you start wiping them up. Even if you are even seizing their land, it's not the way to do it. Because somebody said last time that it was even Mr. President, that the killers are not Nigerians. How do you open your borders for people to come in and be killing? Look at America. During the time of Donald Trump, he has to erect a fence, cutting off Canada and some other countries from invading their country. Why can't we do the same in Nigeria here? Why do you give pity to the terrorists and you treat your people as if they are miscreants? All the people that have been arrested so far, have they done 10% of what these terrorists are doing? Are you telling me that you don't have intelligence reported by them? They have a spokesperson. Why can you be speaking for terrorists and still you are allowed to walk free in the street of Nigeria? Somebody goes into the forest to go and negotiate with them. You don't negotiate with terrorists. No country in the world does that. Come on, Burkina Faso here that is up to one state in Nigeria here. Don't even do that. But here now, it's like we are telling us that what those people are doing is a good business. They are, at least their spokesman even said this some time ago, that they are just doing their normal business. I don't know the part of the constitution that gives a right to people kidnapping and killing people innocently. Look at the ones they just rescued in Ogun State last week. Yes, last week. 2 sets of victims were rescued. Some of them were even killed. And the government is sleeping. With all this happening, Mr. President was still able to travel to Lagos State to have a rest. Mr. Vice President went to visit him just for 2 days that he left Abuja. He was coming to Lagos to visit him to come and tell Mr. President, how are you? While your country is burning, look, how many dead bodies goes into the ground before the ground will shout that I am tired of receiving dead bodies? When are we going to put a stop to all this? Is it now a constitutional matter to rank the best performing governor based on the people that have been killed? It's absurd.
Okay. Let's look at this now. Just yesterday, federal government came up with a list of 18 foreign universities that, look, we don't want you guys in our society, in our country again, because a private investigator or an undercover investigator, journalist that is, was able to secure a degree certificate under 6 weeks and came to Nigeria to do his National Youth Service Corps.
It's a national issue. That thing is not only for foreign universities. Our universities within the country too are also indulging in that activities. So they should not just trace it to foreign universities alone. No, I would not agree that one with them. Everybody does it. There are some areas, I don't want to mention the name of the school. Somebody had HND, not even somebody, 2 persons had HND that I know from there with their HND. Though they converted to universities now, that they studied accounting anyway. They came up with a 2-1. They don't know the difference between debtors list and creditors list. One was even telling me, what is the meaning of a creditors list? And 2-1. Said yes. Okay. Do people owe your company? Said yes. Are there more than one person that owes? Said yes. If you draw the list of those people, what is it called? He said, okay, is that what they call creditors or debtors list? I said, well, fine. When I was running an employment bureau in Lagos, we invited people for interview in one investment company. A lady came up from a UNN, University of Nigeria, Nzuka. In fact, that is where beauty ended. She does not know the difference between scarcity and choice. Economics 2-1. Does not know the meaning between capital and revenue goods. Does not know the meaning between fiscal and monetary policy. Now ask her, look, my friend, do you have any extramural class in your own, around your area that can prepare you for GC or this? She said yes. I said, go back and re-enroll. Go back to university again, because this certificate can never carry you anywhere. That is not a foreign university. So this thing is a general phenomenon. The standard of education has actually fallen. People are cutting corners. Somebody will tell you whose school help is a national slogan. Whose school help? They will, after making the money they want to make through any means, they just go to one place and sit down for 2 hours and say they have come out with a certificate. And the society accept it simply because people lay so much emphasis on certificates. How you get it is not the issue. But the problem is, all the issues, this is my certificate. Nobody investigates how you got it.
How you got it.
Tender it.
Okay, it's a problem. It's a national issue. So it's not only the universities. Okay, at this juncture, let's throw the phone lines open. The numbers are 081-88-888-931 or 0802-931-931. Those are the numbers to call if you want to be part of this program, paper review. You can call us and pick any topic of your choice and let's talk about it. But meanwhile, we'll still have Comrade Ife Odomo here in the studios, and we are looking at the topics or other stories on the headlines. Okay, hi, good morning to you.
Hello?
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Can you please tell us your name and where you're calling us from?
I'm calling from Bushy Table Water.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Hello?
We can hear you.
This issue of terrorists and banditry, there is nowhere in this world that they are negotiated with. No, they are enemies of the society. They are enemies. We should deal with them like enemies. The people in the northern part of this country, I don't see how big is the northern part of this country.
Hello, are you still there?
Like we lost it.
Okay, that we lost that call. Okay, I think he is, of course, corroborating what you said. We don't need to negotiate with terrorists.
Don't negotiate with terrorists.
Hi, good morning to you.
So go ahead for most of that.
Okay, go ahead, please.
The United States pays to access UB funds. I get billionaire UB funds. Now that UB fund is a fund that the minister receives, such that when you bring your capital funding, right now almost 50% of something, you give it the money. Now what is just how percent of the funds they could not provide 50% of it, and you say that you using that money. It's very, very appalling. We are neglecting primary education, and sometimes some states that money they won't access that money, the moribund, and they lack money to feed their schools. So at least they should try and make sure they provide the economic funding so that they could resolve with the education problem. Then again, end pedophilia now, breakthrough killing similar to Rwanda genocide, plant security cooperative, the governors. Yeah, it's a very good thing. The truth is that though I may not really throw the line of our family that is similar to Rwanda genocide, but at least I think we don't want something like this country for Christ's sake. But it's very appalling, and it is high time the federal government really look at this. Like Gali said there, during the time of the onset of this terrorism, Jonathan used foreign mercenaries. And even before the election, they did something like that, and it was very, very, very effective. They should harness all the military areas. And of course, they should not forget the structuring too. Then finally,
we may have to let you go. Thank you so much. We may have to let you go. Thank you so much. One at a time, please.
Yes, he always have a lot to say because it's like he's abreast with.
Very true.
Yes.
We actually appreciate that, bro. But let's allow others to be part of the discussion. Okay. Finally, one last question. Someone who has said military officers driving one way should be arrested.
Definitely, it didn't start from Sanwo-Olu. Fashola did it. It was even by President in Lagos in Marina. The man was coming through one way. The only one way was driving on BRT lane. When Fashola saw the car, he asked his driver to block him, and the guy blocked him. Immediately, the guy now discovered that that was Fashola. He came out from his vehicle. He was a colonel. He came out from his vehicle, and he was taking salute intermittently, trying to say, there is a way a big boys beg big boys. But someone just say, what you are doing, is it right? If I let you go, what will other people look at it that, this man is a colonel and the government is afraid of him? They didn't arrest him there, but he took the matter to the garrison, and the man was invited for questioning. In fact, I didn't know what happened after that. So for them to have taken laws into their hand is wrong. A law officer should not be seen to be breaking the law. They are supposed to be enforcing the law. They should even be given a more severe punishment than ordinary persons. Because ordinary persons don't know the law, but you that knows the law, like they give you something to keep and you stole it. You are a bigger thief.
Very true. Okay, I think that is where we're going to wrap things up today on the newspaper review. Thank you so much, Comrade Efe Odomo.
Yeah, thank you, Alex, for your in-depth knowledge into the whole issue.
Okay, I want to say thank you too to those who called in. Tomorrow, inshallah, paper review will return on Crest Television and Crest 93.1 FM. Okay, the big story with Michael Odomo is up next. Do stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Good morning.